Good day, YouTube. This is Jay Money with Wallingford Financial. Just an update here on Nvidia. I haven't talked about them on the channel here for a while. They did the forward split. We'll go over that here in a moment. And don't have much here in Robinhood. I'll show you what I have here a little bit later. But I have a couple more shares in a retirement. This is the only account that I show here on the channel. But this is Nvidia, ticker NVDA, and here you can kind of see what they've done over the last year. You could have got in at 104.66. Looks like it's went up to the 130s, traded kind of sideways for a while, went up to the 150s and came back down, had a little bit of a pullback to the 115s and on up to the 160s, and ever since May it's just been on a climb, but it has pulled back some. Probably a little bit of profit taking and whatever else is going on. Here's a little bit better look at it on the escalator, if you will, up, and then it kind of came back down. So here's a look at the 1 month, down 1.60%, and down a little bit in the last week. And here's what it's done today. So went 193.15, took a dip there to 190.47, and on its way back up again. So like I said, I don't have much here. You can see I have a partial share. This is my cost basis, so I've had this one for a while. And if you don't know what this one is, it's a manufacturer of computer graphics processor, chipsets, and related multimedia software. It operates through the following segments, and feel free to pause and go over the rest there for yourself. You're probably watching this on a laptop, computer, whatever device, and maybe it's got NVIDIA parts inside of it. So my laptop does, and it's a can't go wrong with NVIDIA. So this is founded in 1993 and 45.10 million average shares and a $478 billion market cap. This one does give a dividend. It's not much of one, but it's something's better than nothing. Here's a look at the analyst ratings. Great ratings on this one, 83%. And here's a look at their earnings. So as you can see, for the last couple quarters, it just continues to go up. And next is available August 18th after hours. Here's a look at when they did their 4-for-1 split back on July 20th, 2021. They did a forward split. So this is the amount of shares that I had, well, partial shares that I had prior to the split, and now this is the amount of shares, partial shares, that I have after the split. So a stock split occurs when a company divides its existing shares to either increase on a forward split, is what we have done here, or decrease on a reverse split. The number of shares it has on the market. As a result, the number of shares you own has changed, but the overall market value of your portfolio remains the same. So I've talked about other stocks on the channel in the past that's done a reverse split. So therefore you have less shares, and it tends to piss people off, but your overall value is still the same. So that's the always the same on the market value, so that does not change. But like I said, I don't have much here on Robinhood, but moving on, our robust financials driving the recent rally in Nvidia Corporation stock, and this is dated on the 27th, so actually yesterday. So fairly new, has had a great run in the share market, with its stock up by a significant 25% over the last 3 months, given that the market rewards strong financials in the long term. We wonder if that is the case in this instance. So this kind of goes over a return of equity, kind of how to calculate that. Return on equity equals net profit from continuing operations equals or divided by shareholder equity. So based on the above formula, the ROE for Nvidia is 28%, equals US 5.3 billion divided by US 19 billion based on the trailing 12 months to May 2021. And if you want to read further into that, feel free to pause and go over the rest. This kind of goes over some more of their earnings growth and a 28% ROE. When then compared to Nvidia's net income growth with the industry, and we're pleased to see the company's growth figure is higher than what we compared with the industry, which has a growth rate of 15% in the same period. This kind of goes over the past 5 years annual earnings growth, the company, industry, and the market, and last 1 year earnings growth, which you can see what a difference. So, great stock on this one. It's a great growth stock. Like I said, it doesn't give too much of a dividend, but something's better than nothing. But this one is a overall growth stock, as well as you get the small dividend. So, American Asset Management Incorporated buys Nvidia Corp, and this is dated last Friday on the 23rd. So they bought Nvidia Corp during the 3-month ended on 2021 of Q2. According to the most recent filings of the investment company American Asset Management as of 2021 Q2, American Asset Management Incorporated owns 9 stocks with a total value of $128 million. These are the details of the buys and sells. So, purchases of Nvidia, added positions, TLT, GLD, SPY. For the details of American Asset Management Incorporated stock buys and sells, you can go to the following website. There are top 5 holdings of American Asset Management, and you can find those in the SPY, the GLD, the TLT, and their new purchases in Nvidia. So great one to have in your portfolio. Unfortunately, I don't have more of this one. I would have liked to have had more prior to the split, but just didn't happen. So why Nvidia stock just dropped. This is dated on the 26th. Shares of the gaming graphics and crypto mining semiconductor manufacturer Nvidia shed more than 3% in early trading this morning before retracing and recapturing some of those losses. As of 10:50 a.m. EDT, Nvidia stock is now down only 1.5%, but is still down. Why Nvidia is down? That came out Friday afternoon on gaming website IGN. May hold a clue or two. And so a lot of things going on with Nvidia. Like I said, I haven't talked about them all that much in the past. Refer to them from time to time, but quoting CEO Pat Gelsinger of rival chip concern Intel, which I've talked about numerous times, my bigger holdings are in Intel. I've also talked about AMD, just did a video on them a day or two ago, but currently I do not have any AMD. I used to have it in the past, and you can find that out on my past videos. So IGN notes that Intel boss predicts chip shortages will bottom out in the second half, and that it will take another 1 to 2 years before the industry is able to completely catch up with the demand. So I didn't think it would take that long, but it has been in the process for a couple months, so maybe it will take 1 to 2 years before the industry is able to completely catch up. I guess I just didn't stop and think about it. That is a really good point. So if you have any other information on that, go ahead and list it in the comments. And if you have any other favorite semiconductor plays out there, list that in the comments as well. But NVIDIA commands from manufacturing a hot product in high demand computer chips may begin now waning over the next few months, even if it takes a couple more years to completely evaporate. For investors paying more than 92 times earnings for Nvidia stock today, that may sound worrisome, as it implies high profit margins won't stick around forever. Second comment from IGN, report is also of concern with semiconductors in such high demand currently. Companies like NVIDIA should in theory be able to command very high profit margins on their products, but as IGN points out, not all of the margin is in fact accruing to NVIDIA and its peers. And feel free to pause and go over the rest of that information. Moving on here. NVIDIA, Qualcomm, and other chip stocks mixed after AMD earnings. And I just went over AMD. You can find that in the library. I'll go ahead and link that in the description. So they trade flat to a lower after advanced AMD reports its 7th straight quarter of double-digit revenue growth. And so AMD has just been a powerhouse over the last year. Really gave Intel a good run, and which is a good thing. Competition's good, keeps prices down, just like Target, Amazon, Walmart. It's always a good thing. NVIDIA, Qualcomm, and other chip stocks traded flat to lower Wednesday after AMD get report its 7th straight double-digit growth thanks to broad-based PC server and game console strength. Concerns that the likes of Tesla, Apple, get reports may be looking for additional production woes due to the ongoing global semiconductor shortage also failed to spark gains in the chipmaker shares. AMD, after the closing bell on Tuesday, reported net income of $710 million or 58 cents a share compared to $157 million or 13 cents a share a year ago. So quite a difference. Adjusted earnings came in at 63 cents a share. Revenue totaled $3.85 billion, up from 99% a year ago. So just a tremendous growth that AMD has showed, and you can also see that in the stock price. Looking ahead, AMD said it expects the third quarter revenue of roughly $4.1 billion, up from 46% year over year. Analysts are calling for a revenue of $3.82 billion for the full year 2021. AMD now expects revenue growth of about 60%, up from prior guidance of roughly 50%. The surge in AMD's revenue and earnings driven by the ongoing global semiconductor shortage that has driven up both demand and prices for chips that go in everything from cars to refrigerator, children's toys wasn't enough to lift other chip and graphic card makers. And here it also talks about Taiwan Semiconductor. I've talked about them once or twice on the channel. And Texas Instruments. Haven't really covered them on the channel all that much and do not currently own any shares of Texas Instruments. If you have any of those or whatever your favorite semiconductor is, you can list that in the comments as well. Meanwhile, Apple, which also is now a chipmaker, posted much stronger than expected third quarter earnings Tuesday as surging iPhone sales and a big comeback in China sales boosted the tech giant's top and bottom lines. And Apple has always grown. They just had a nice growth in the stock here as of lately. I just continue to hold that one and just set it on autopilot and have drip set up on the dividends and just let it sit there and do its thing. So NVIDIA stock is looking for a balance between extremes. Equity prices are hotter than ever. Literally, the indices continue to break records, which help from huge stimulus packages. Yesterday was a down day, but a rare one. Late, NVIDIA stock is down 8% from its highs, but that was a record level. Contrary to popular belief, Reddit stock can be actually travel in two directions. And so I always try to cover Reddit and see kind of what the stocks are doing, but they can go one way or the other. And Reddit and StockTwits are kind of powerful at times in regards to driving them one way or the other. So this week is extra eventful because we are in the those of a massive earnings stretch. The gigacap tech sector is reporting blockbuster numbers, judging Apple And Google's been huge lately. It's also been going up. So has Apple. Opened up a new position, but I currently haven't. So over here on Reddit, let's see if there's any information. Please send more semis to Stuttgart. Ordered. Extends partnership with NVIDIA. Not much information in there, and got stock to its door. Currently at $195.71 with a low of $102.95 and a high of $208.75. So you can kind of see the volatility there in the year and also the growth. Might buy some long calls on this, thinking if it does come to hitting 200 soon with a couple of weeks, I think the calls are going to blow up. So if you're doing a option on this one, that would be interesting as well, and you can leave that in the comments as well. Break out already. Squeezing semiconductors this week. This is about to drop even more. I have no faith. Time to squeeze semiconductors today. And I've talked about this one on the channel a couple times. Metamaterials, formerly Torchlight, developer of functional materials and non-composite products. The company is engaged in designing and develop. And you can find all of those in the library as well. Over here on tip ranks, currently at 194.50 with a strong buy. 29 ratings and 28 of them show as a buy, so this has always been a strong buy in NVIDIA with an upside of $202.56, 4.14% upside, a high of 250 and a low of 150. But that's all that I have on NVIDIA. We'll check out Twitter here. Bullish into the 200 area, so and not much other information, but if you have NVIDIA, go ahead and list that in the comments along with your cost bases and any other information you want to share about NVIDIA and any other semiconductors if you'd like to see a video on those. Like I said, I've covered Intel numerous times, AMD. You can find all those in the library. I'm sure I'll be watching NVIDIA more closely now after the split and try to pick up some shares on this one since it's split and since it's a little bit cheaper now. So but that's all that I have, and if you haven't smashed that like button yet, go ahead and hit that for me, as well as subscribing and hit the bell so you're notified of when the next videos drop. Again, this is J Money, Falling Forward Financial. Happy trading, happy investing, stay green. Cheers.